Hi class, my name is Renee Riley and I'm going to be your instructor this summer. I'm excited to have you. We're going to have a really fun time, but we're going to be super busy. Let's take a look really quick at what we have in Canvas. Because we will be compressing 16 weeks of material down into 5 weeks, we'll have several Canvas modules that will be needing to be completed each week. So let's take a look at our Canvas course. Here is our instructor overview, and this page has all the information about how to contact me on my email. And of course, we'll be using Discord to communicate this summer. Get your account set up, and you probably know how to use Discord. If you don't, shoot me a message and we'll figure something out. Soon I'll be switching this homepage to display our course schedule. On our course schedule, you'll see an overview of what we'll be doing each week through our course and maybe a link to the beginning of that course within our modules section. I'm going to go ahead and follow the instructions here. Before I do, new announcements will show up here at the top of the home page, and a blue dot will indicate that it's an announcement that you haven't read. Do change your settings in Canvas. Make sure that announcements are emailed to you so that you're notified if a new announcement is posted. If I make an announcement, I'll do the same thing on Discord, but it's important that you follow the announcements. I'll go ahead and click on this so I can see the actual announcements. And it says that we are under construction, and that's true. And after that date, we should be all good to go. Now I'm going to click on the modules section. This is the way you should follow our course. You have other screens available or windows available to you in Canvas that you can use for your the greater good, like the syllabus screen and the assignment screen. And those are really helpful. But in general, you should be approaching our course through the module section because that's the way Canvas is designed. In the module section, the first module you'll see has our syllabus and a supplemental text that will be available to you throughout the semester. Lesson 0, our setup, is our first module, so I would like for you to begin here. When you're using Canvas, some items will require you to interact with Canvas to indicate your completion. So if I look at this Lesson 0 module, I see first of all that it has several pages and other pieces of information. And at the very end in the summary, it says that I need to mark that as done. If I don't mark that as done, I'm not going to satisfy this Canvas prerequisite to allow me to see the next lessons. So I need to make sure and do that. Now I'll go ahead and start here. Welcome. As I click through, I'll see some information that describes in more detail how the course will be set up. This is where this video will be, and you've already seen it, right? Or found it, I should say. Then we have some assignment information. Late work will be penalized. I know that with the speed of our progression, it could be easy to get behind, but please don't let that happen. We'll be moving too quickly for you to be able to make things up if you get behind. So that's just kind of an FYI. The next item is going to be an introduction to the Microsoft Azure for Education site. This is new, and it's Microsoft's site. It gives you access to free Microsoft software. You should be running Microsoft Visual Studio Enterprise 2017 for our class, and you'll want to download it from the Azure for Education site. When you get the software from the Azure for Education site, a product key will be given to you. Make sure you put that product key in, enter it, so that you have activated your copy of Visual Studio. If you don't, Visual Studio will be running on a trial basis and will expire on you probably when you need it most. The next facility we'll be using is called REPL, and REPL stands for Read, Execute, Print, Loop. And that's because in most programming, that's what our programs do. They read some data, they execute some procedure against them, they print something out, and then they loop into it again. So REPL gives us a facility to test programs and to do our coding. Now, I apologize that in the materials it told you that you needed a hypergrade code. We will be able to use REPL instead of hypergrade. You can try returning it to the bookstore, but it would keep me out of trouble probably if you just hung on to it and thought about that. $13 is a really great investment to not have to use hypergrade, and you might need it for Java or C#1 in the fall. So you can keep a hold of that. Now, our REPL activities will be graded, so they should be completed. When you're working with REPL, you can ask your study group, which we'll be talking about in a minute, questions, or you can submit an assignment. Now, REPL will say, this assignment doesn't match the required output. Are you sure? And if you would like some feedback from me on what's wrong with that assignment, you can go ahead and submit it anyways. And then send me a quick Discord message, and then I'll be able to take a look at your REPL assignment and give you some feedback and return that assignment back to you so that you can revise it and complete it properly. Whenever I do give you feedback, remember, I'm going to be giving you feedback in the form of questions, and these questions will be designed to make you think about the probable solution. They are not designed to make you mad or make you feel bad. You're not doing anything wrong. It's just that if you come to the solution on your own without me leading you to the solution by holding your hand, you're going to understand things a lot better and remember things a lot longer. So we want you to be able to solve those problems on your own. Next, we have a list of many, many websites that are available to help you with your C# knowledge. There are many others besides these, and if you find one that you like, that's fine. You're welcome to use it. You're going to have a lot of resources available to you. Now, we do have a few discussion board assignments, so the requirements are listed here. And then we are done with this module. Now, we noticed when we were looking at the module overview that we had to mark this summary section as done. So here is my button in Canvas that I can do that with. I'm going to click that, and now that module is done. I could click Next to go right into the Lesson 1 overview, but I want to return to the modules overview screen so that you can see how that completing that and marking that as done has opened up all of the lessons for week 1. So we do have more than one lesson. These things are split up into logical units of study for you. Now, what does this mean as far as your schedule goes? Well, it means that you're going to probably need to spend some time most days on our course. My plan for my personal schedule is that I'll be working full-time, at least 8 hours a day on our course. We can think of this as kind of a boot camp course, and people spend $4,000 or $5,000 to take those kind of boot camps in the city, and look at you getting to do this here at OTC for much, much less. Yay. But coming back to how much time we're going to need to spend, yes, I would assume 6 to 8 hours a day. Usually, students should plan on spending more time than the instructor in their course, right? So it is going to be a full-time proposition. Now, if that full-time is through the night or in the morning or whatever your time frame is, that should be okay, but you will have a study group to take into consideration with on the schedule also. Now, the first lesson talks about our syllabus. It's very important. The syllabus quiz will go over some really important items for you. The syllabus quiz, if you see, is due June 4th. All of your assignments for week 1 will be due that same day. Please do not wait until June 4th to begin. It's just not going to be possible for you to get through all of this material in one day. Remember, 16 weeks of material knocked down to 5 weeks. Gives us about 3 weeks worth of material every week, because you don't want to get the short end of the stick and not know the information that you need to know. So we're going to make sure that you get all that information, but it is going to require a time investment on your part. Now, again, if you notice as you go through and look at the syllabus module, that quiz is worth 40 points. Those are pretty easy points. Definitely make sure you get this quiz taken, and you can use the syllabus, you can use the web as you're taking it to make sure you get all of those points and get that quiz properly completed. Next, the next lesson will be an introduction of C#. So you'll have, for most of your lessons, an instructor video lecture, and that'll be pretty much over a PowerPoint. The first one may be a textbook PowerPoint, but after that, they should be instructor developed PowerPoints. You'll gather a lot of information from those lectures. Some of them can be long. We're looking at chapters that are 120 pages or more. So yes, again, time investment, that is true. After the video, you have some additional information. The associated PowerPoint is attached. Vocab on the Quizlet website is available for most of our different lessons. We might have additional videos for this first lesson, lesson 2, the first lesson where we'll be using Visual Studio and doing any coding. Here is a video to show you how to do a real quick Visual Studio project, and another video that talks about some of the Visual Studio project folders and background behind the scenes things. These will be really, really helpful to you, so please don't skip them. Now, the meat of our lesson is going to be the REPL course. The REPL course is going to be a series of assignments, and they will step you through with instructions on what to do. When you're working with your REPL course, I'm asking that you work with your study group. What does that mean? Well, I would like for you to try to get together as much as possible with as many members of your study group as you can, and use the Zoom facility to record your session so that you guys can work through the REPL course together. Now, I know we'll have some loners, but it's important for you to work with others. And many of our employers here in the Springfield area are asking students to do code reviews as part of their interview. So if you work on these REPL activities together with your study group, and each of you describe what the code is doing to the others and kind of talk it out, you're going to get really used to doing those kinds of code reviews that will help you out in the interview process down the road. Lesson 3 talks about variables and expressions. Again, you see you have your lecture video, vocab on Quizlet, your REPL course assignment, an optional task in REPL. It does ask you to mark this one as done, but it would be in your best interest to complete it. Both of these lessons, if you notice, include a practice quiz. The quiz you should think of as a worksheet or a study guide. Use your textbook while you're going through the practice quiz. You can take this practice quiz as many times as you like. Please don't memorize the questions and answers. That won't help you in the long term. That won't help you with your career. What will help you is if you research and find the correct answer and understand why that answer is the correct answer, and as well why the others are not. So that's an important study aid for you. In Lesson 4, we'll be looking at subprograms in C#. Same type of organization and structure. Lesson 5, you'll jump right into object-oriented programming. And then Lesson 6 will be the summary project and exam for week 1. It feels like a unit. It is. It's a unit exam, which would normally be, again, 4 weeks worth of material in class. So it's going to be a big time investment. But again, that's why I'd like for you to work with your group as much as possible. You can really help each other and pull each other through this. Your first project is also a group project in a way. You are expected to complete the actual code part of the project on your own, then get together with your group via Zoom to do a code review. The recorded code review will be submitted to me as the project, and that will be the grade for the entire group team. So we have a lot here. Each of our weeks will be very busy and fun-filled and very packed. So it'll be a great experience for you. Depend on your group. Get those relationships formed right away so that you have someone to go to if you have questions or a problem. Whenever we're working with C#, it is a very technical topic, and when you do run into questions and problems, it can be very easy to feel overwhelmed. Please use Discord or other facilities to ask questions of other students. The C# channel in Discord is set up for you guys. If I get a question from you, I will be checking to make sure that that question has previously been asked of the group, unless, of course, it's of a personal nature. That's perfectly fine. I understand that. But we will be going with the idea, the coined phrase, basically, ask three, then me. That is a type of instructional strategy that means refer to your classmates, refer to your peers before you refer to your instructor. I am here for you, and I want to help you in any way that I can, but you will be better served by asking three than me. Now, three, do you really have to ask three? No, that is the term and the way it's coined. I do expect to see that you have asked in Discord and tried to get a response from your peers. That's going to be the best way. There are 20 of you and one of me, and so the chances of somebody being able to answer a question is much better than me being able to. Now, again, like I mentioned at the beginning, we're going to have a great time. It's really fun. You will feel like you're just diving into the C# pool, and that's what you want to do because you're going to get the best knowledge and a really good level of knowledge and experience by really immersing yourself in the language, just the same as if you traveled to Germany and you were immersed in the German language, you would very, very quickly pick up the language and become an expert. So we'll be using that immersion strategy here with our boot camp course for the summer. So don't forget, our coined term is ask three, then me. I look forward to working with you this summer, and thank you.